Well, hey there, this is Jerry, and I'm getting started on another episode of What's Broke Today. And today, I've got another lawn service trailer, and see our bent fender, and one disconnected wheel hub where the axle broke. And I'll bring the camera up a little closer. If we look at the end of the axle, see where we got clean there, and clean there, and the rest of this where it's all dirty is where it's been cracked for quite a while. Or actually, some of that was just a piss poor weld, looks like. And yeah, I'll say I don't think there's enough of that broke off that I just don't think it's a wise bet to try and weld that back on. So we're going to pull this axle out and replace the whole axle. And when we get started, the first thing I want to do is hit it with some rust penetrant on these bolts. And then let's start out with our impact gun, because I think I got enough clearance. We can. Okay, those back out of the way. Knock our plate down off there, which it still looks good. U-bolt's got a little wear from that bottoming out up there, but not bad. And that gets our axle loose on this side. I'm going to go do the same thing on the other side. Okay, now that I got the other side unbolted, I'm going to get down here. I got my floor jack all ready. I'm going to kind of push it farther to the other side because there is more weight. Because that's still having all the hub, there's a lot more weight on the other end of this axle. I'm just going to jack it up and get it up off that centering bolt. I can pick this side up. And I can look across and see the other side. And then just pull this back. And just slide it out. Like so. And then see when I get the axle out, we can see where, I mean, in a way, you've probably been overloading the trailer because this has been hitting the floor in the center. Another thing to look at with our trailer axle is the fact that it, if we look at it closely, this sets on top of the springs, and there's a slight arch to the trailer. So if you set that down on the ground, the center of this is higher than the outside. And the thought is when you load it, it'll push it down and semi-straighten it out. So okay, now for me to go get another axle, I want to measure from the center of the spring perch across the center of this spring perch where I have 74 inches. And like a lot of the things, I'm going to measure twice, cut once. Center. Yeah, so 74. And then I'm going to go from the hub to where it broke off. Now I've got 85 and 3/16. And then I'll take my hub and measure in. And I got 3 and 11/16. So 3 and 11/16. And 85. So we'll take the 3/16 from here, put over here, and make this 4 and 85. So I've got 89 inches face of hub to face of hub. And then that's about 4 1/4, which that should make this 5 on 4 1/2 wheels. All right, we're back at our trailer, and my axle finally showed up. And of course, I got just the axle. I didn't get wheel hubs, but what I'm going to start with and lay that up on my floor jack. I can push the floor jack and slide this across, and then I'll just sit down here where I can. Watch out, dog. No, I don't need you licking me. I have a dog that wants to sit in my lap. Apparently, he doesn't think I need to work. Okay, get down. Go. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. I got stuff to do, dog. Okay, so get my camera back in position. And I'm going to raise my jack up so I'm high enough I think I can get over the other side. And then just push and steer it to where I want it. Okay. Then I'll set the side closest to me on its pin. And I can drop U-bolts. Take our bottom plate. Of course, I can get the nuts underneath started. Get those started, and then so I gotta get the spring up in the air a little more. So let's bring my floor jack back because this shackle is starting to fold the wrong way anyway. So we can lift that up a little and then yeah. There we go. What I'm going for is just tighten these U-bolts down evenly. And I just basically judge by the amount of thread on the bottom side. Now I'll probably finish that off with a hand tighten, and then luckily they put these cool little boots over the end to protect our axle. And this is a Dexter axle. And of course it's sort of like the old one. It's got the fitting in the where I can lube it. And I also like these quick, they kind of snap on caps that lock the nut. Those are real nice and simple to have. And then if we had brakes, they have pre-run a wire. So I'll set my camera down, kind of like so. And I'm gonna go to the other side and basically do the same thing I've been doing here. I'm gonna need a jack on the other side because of the twist that has. Because the other spring dropped back down. All right. Because that wasn't lining up like I needed it to, got me a board, an old car jack, my cordless drill. Let's put that on slow. We'll lower our jack down. And underneath there, there we go. Now if I raise this up, then that other side will square up more with the spring. All right, then see if the axle sits right over the pin now. Okay, I get that stuff started. One U-bolt. All right, then of course, just like the other side, I get down here where I can see better. I want to tighten these up as evenly as I can. Okay. Oh, there's our axle mounted. So I can pull off the tube from this side. Now all I gotta do is go get the old hubs and get them removed from the old axle. Okay, so that one up there out of the way. I'll start with my pliers and just see if I can pop this cap off easily. Alright, cap one off. All right, both of those off. Take some grease off. And see, this one is Carter pin style. So wipe off some grease and I'll throw the greasy shop towels in a box. Straighten that up some. Then we can just unscrew that nut. I might keep those just in case. Okay, there's the second one. I'm going to slide that up off there. Set the axle to the side. The washer that's here, I don't need it. Pull that one off. Don't need the washer. So I'll start out with this thing, just pops off with our screwdriver. It clips over the nut and it has this little ear that goes on the flat of the that's here on the axle here, which is on the back side. And with all that pulled off, I'm going to take a little bit of that grease and put in my seal on the back side. And it hadn't been that long since I'd repacked his wheel bearings. That's why I'm not buying and putting on new seals, because those seals aren't very old. Even though looking at this grease, it does look old. Okay. That nut started. Like so. And just like always, I over tighten it, spin it a few rotations, and then without turning the hub, I'll loosen that up. Tighten it up with my fingers. And I'll line that up. Now I'll tighten it up just a hair more. And that turned more than I wanted it to. Okay. Now I can snap that over the end, and that'll lock the nut, keep it from coming off. And then the only thing I got left to do here, I want to shoot some more grease in. And I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing, and then I'll be back. Got the hub on the other side, and I done greased and put the cap on over there. And then here I'm just going to grease it because it's going in the center on the back side of the rear bearing, in between the bearing and the seal, and then that pushes it upwards out the front here. And then once I can see it coming through the bearing, it's when I stop. And I can take my cap, hammer it on, and that's done. I'm going to grab my floor jack. Oh. Drop it. Now I was going to pull it back to about midpoint of that axle. Or actually, I'm going to go across and come this way. And just put some pressure so it holds the axle up as I pull out my jack there, my block of wood. Thinking what other thing I want to do before I put the wheel on. This gets got to bend the other way. Take my big bar. I can bend that back into place a little bit. There goes lug nuts a-flying. Stuff down there. I need to run that out back and do some welding where it ripped it right there. But all right. Then tire up here. Back here, gonna work on our fender. I think I'm gonna put my jack in here, but try and get it back just a little farther than I had it earlier. So I'm not out so close to the edge. Kind of get it up. I'll try and be back in here. Yeah. It's like I'm going to be like one pad up here and one pad back there. I have a dog here to help. Which see if I can move that in just a hair farther. There we go. Let's try that. Oh yeah, that's better. I think that will work, and then we'll just clean that a little. Okay. Dog, go to the house. I'm getting ready to start welding. I think I'll weld a little bit, and then I'll move my jack out, see if I can push this more together. Maybe. Yeah, let me tack that, just so it don't move. Yeah, it's uneven concrete. Oh, okay. Maybe not perfect, but not bad. Okay. Okay. That looks a little better. Other than picking up some tools, I think we're about done. It's not perfect, but not bad considering what it looked like when I started. All right, well, there's what my fender turned out when I got done. That is actually one of the better welds I've done in quite a while. That it helps when you have all the metal clean and the paint's not on there. Well, I appreciate you watching this video on getting our axle swapped, getting our fender fixed. That I sure do appreciate everybody that has subscribed to my channel. That by the time I get this thing posted, I should be over 900 subscribers. So I am very appreciative to everybody that watches it. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't do this without you. So thank you very much. That and as usual, I always like the thumbs up for the likes. Appreciate all those comments. And hey, anybody that's not a subscriber, better join on in, because no telling what else you'll see on What's Broke Today. Thank you.